Come on, let's go. Stupid Lionel. Come on, let's go. Come on, bud. I got you now. God, this game is just... It's too much. It's too much, I tell you. It's a little hard. I don't know what they're going to do with hard mode, but it's going to be ridiculous. Hey, what's up? It only took you a few months to find me. Yeah, I've been sitting here playing some Zelda on the Switch. So it's been going pretty solid. It's been going pretty well. I've been having a good time. Shut up for a second. What do you mean 5 months? No. See. That's not possible. I've done the perfect calculations. I mean, according to my calculations, right, the Switch came out March 3rd. The new Star Wars trailer came out Easter. And believe it or not, like 3 new Spider-Man trailers have come out since then. So according to that solid logic, that means that we're still in February. That doesn't make any sense. Wait a second, my calculations are so wrong. That doesn't make any sense! My god, it's been 5 months since I've uploaded on YouTube. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. It's been 5 months. Wait, 5 months. That means January, February, March, April, May. Oh my god. Please don't tell me I missed my channel's anniversary. Please don't tell me. Come on. Let's get filming. Oh my goodness, guys, I just can never imagine in my wildest dreams back in 2012 thinking this YouTube channel would last 5 consecutive years with uploads continuing throughout that time without taking any long breaks. It's crazy what's happened these last 5 years, you know? We had that Spider-Man reboot happen with Andrew Garfield, and we got that whole filmology, and then that failed and died, and we got a new reboot. We haven't got it yet, but it's like basically here. The Wii U came out, then died and failed miserably, and we got the Switch. You know, we got the Switch. And we got Zelda. We got the new Zelda game. That's insane. 5 years. And then Star Wars had just been bought by Disney, and now we're 2 films into their reign of the series. It's really crazy when you begin to think about it, how long such a short feeling period of time really is. Like, I just can't believe you all have stuck with me for however long you have. And I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Truly, it means a lot to me. And I really thank you so much. It just means so much to me. And honestly, as I examine these past 5 years and the years ahead, I don't see an end in sight. That being said, here are my top 5 favorite videos that I've made so far. Now, in no various order, just 5 of the favorite videos I've made. Welcome back. In the year of and those that preceded 2014 and early throughout even 2015, I was kind of a lost YouTuber in a way. I had been for quite some time. First a Minecraft channel, then a Nintendo News one, then some unboxing videos sprinkled here and there, bouncing from random video to random video. It wasn't until this particular video that I united my channel under a common banner that single-handedly shaped how I make videos to this day. My review of Mega Man Powered Up is probably one of my worst videos, but what it did do was it gave me inspiration and motivation to want to make reviews, and focus my channel in on the one aspect and formatting of those videos. Making this video really allowed me to finally get over that hump that had been taught to me for years, wondering what's the purpose of my channel, where am I going to go with this in the future, and really helped me realize where I would go with this channel, not only in its video tone, but also in the persona that I had for it. It was here where I made the Roy reviews transitions and began work on a new intro that would exude the feel I was going for with these new reviews. And I also see this video as the true birth of the modern side of my channel, the birth of the modern Roy, as you will. It's been a few years and I'm still going with these reviews, and I've been trying to up the quality consistently since this initial review, and in all the time that's passed, it's very interesting to make comparisons between that video and videos that I have nowadays. It's quite hilarious as well, since the Mega Man Powered Up review is not great whatsoever or on any level.
Mega Man Powered Up, one of the most underrated Mega Man games to date. This game is dismissed often by video game players and just, people in general.
This video also shaped how I would proceed to make the videos throughout the rest of the year. I followed that format a little too much, and then built upon it a tiny bit with each release, and set my channel's tone that still runs deep now with every upload. It all really started here, honestly. But what this video also did was help define my purpose in flashing lights, which may sound silly, but think about this for a second. Before this review, I was just a random YouTuber without an identity. Sure, I was Roy, but I was more just a voice shouting into the void than anything. It's because of this video that I became more efficient, ambitious, and cognizant, all of which led me to evolve my persona and craft it into something new for the channel. And because of that persona, I got that purple hat that has become so prominent in my life. And it's all because of this video, and the purpose that it gave me to my channel, that I'm here at all today, still making videos 5 years later. And while I dislike how poorly it made, it really is, I will always be thankful to it for what it did for me. Alright, so I know this is a video about my previous videos and I should really stick to that format, but I'm including my first 24-hour stream here anyways, because this is my video. You can't change that. You can't re-edit out this part. My video, buddy. Now that we got that all settled out, I want to take you all back in time to fall of 2014. For years, we had all been waiting for the new Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. So many cool characters, awesome stages, and a 2-version release. I can remember there being a ton of hype around the release from so many people, so according to the hype, a week before the game released, I decided to do a 24-hour Super Smash Bros. 3DS stream.
And I thought, what better way to celebrate the release of a new Smash Bros. Than a 24-hour live stream with you guys.
Now, I don't know if you really know this about me, but from 2014 through most of 2015, I was a serious Twitch streamer. I didn't get insane numbers, but 3 days a week, I would stream and entertain around 40 people or so. So to celebrate the release of the new Smash Bros. With a 24-hour stream seemed only fitting back then. Looking back on this event, I can remember hardly thinking about the stress of a 24-hour stream and just being excited to dive right into it with a now unusual amount of zeal. I began the stream on a loading screen, announcing that the stream would start soon, and then went to a midnight release store near me. And I mean, come on, I would never do that nowadays. I mean, that's something I have to admire, but also frown upon about the event. Loading screens. Anyways, after getting back home, I hooked my 3DS into my computer and began the stream. No stopping until 1 AM the next night. I wasn't totally naive to the situation I was putting myself in, though. I bought myself like 5 or 6 McDonald's iced teas to ration out throughout the night to help me make it through the stream. I can vividly remember having a large amount of energy, but only in bursts or so. The first 8 hours flew by, honestly. It was only when other people woke up around me that had had full nights of sleep that I began to realize how long it had been, and that's when the sleepiness began to punch in. I then fell into a little slump of sorts. Not super tired, low energy, but definitely going off of caffeine, and that's all that was left of me. Then, when I got a lot of people, I got more energy from the people's presence, but then, at one point, I can remember accidentally falling asleep for 15 minutes and crashing. I had to survive the next 6 hours after making it through most of the stream. And in the end, I had done it. And it was really fun. But it also marks a very important shift for me and my channel. I began to grow a real work ethic for my channel with this stream. And I also asked a YouTuber by the name of Random Tens to join me on the stream for 30 minutes or so, just to hang out and have fun. And that's where Stan and I first really met. So that's also momentous. In the end, my 24-hour stream is something I haven't and won't soon, nor ever, forget.
Alright, what's up guys, Roy here, and, well, we're taking the demo. Oh, wait, that's no demo. That is Smash Bros. 3. Yes, what's up, Retro Raider? How are you doing, my man? We are playing a software update.
I'm gonna level with you for a second. If there's one common thread that accompanies the aftermaths that accompany every video I make, every project I tackle, or anything I do YouTube-wise in general, it's always that I feel stained with a lot of regret or self-disappointment. Each video or project I do on YouTube always seems to face different variables that always result in the same thing. A video that, while fine, could have been something more, or a project that never came to fruition, or did, but in a quaint and disappointing way, because the challenge of tackling it was too fierce, or I just hadn't acquired the skill set necessary to correctly execute it. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the one project that I've come to be quite proud of in retrospect over the years is Fire Emblem Month. Yeah, this also isn't technically a video, but whatever. I can remember having the idea for Fire Emblem Month after a pretty rough and interesting day in winter of 2015. After recovering from the day, I went to my computer and edited some Fire Emblem clips for fun, when the idea dawned on me to celebrate the series with a month all about it on my channel. I originally scheduled it for June, the eagerness to tackle the challenge getting to my head, but then I realized that I really wanted it to take place in July. So I delayed it 1 month further and spent every day in June coming up with concepts and ideas of what to do during the month. I can clearly remember waking up extremely early one summer morning and just waking with the idea to try and do an in-game sprite sketch thing as the introduction to the month as a video. So I contacted a sprite artist and spent the day talking with him, and when my effort to get him to work with me on my project didn't pan out, I decided to just do it for myself. I spent the day making a few proof of concept versions of this idea, practice edits if you will, and after a while decided to ultimately make this sprite video from scratch, all on my own. Making that video was extremely tedious, but fun, and in the end it did set the tone for the rest of the month. I can also sadly remember in my first Fire Emblem month making a Fire Emblem song parody.
Just waking up on the field in a new place. To be honest, everything was foggy, no trace. You ever feel like your mind's been destroyed? That's when I meet Crom and Lisa.
Yeah, not very good. Very bad is what it was. Not to discredit the singer, I mean, he did a very phenomenal job with what he was given, but my lyrics were a hot heaping pile of garbage. Just saying. Anyways, Fire Emblem Month that year was something that I had promised, worked hard on to give it my own vision and a unique life to it, and delivered on. That's something that I will always be proud of, and while the old videos from that first Fire Emblem Month are very outdated nowadays, it's kind of fun to go watch back those videos and see what I learned from undertaking that project and how it impacted the future of my channel. This past year's Fire Emblem Month was pretty great too, at least in my opinion. I made a much higher scaled 8-minute long sprite animation sketch, a sequel to the previous years, and it featured a lot more action and a more involved story. I also concluded that month with my review of Fire Emblem Fates, and I can only hope that this year's upcoming Fire Emblem Month continues the lineage and ups the quality even further for your viewing pleasure. I really do feel that while my quality was far from great during this era, summer to fall of 2015 was probably my channel's golden age in terms of upload frequency, crossed with content gains slowly better and better as I found my channel's tone and setting more with each video created. I mean, there are some classics stacked in there: Mario 3, Dr. Mario, Mario Maker, a lot of Mario reviews. Anyways, I do feel that these events led ultimately to the culmination that was the Xenoblade review. I can remember the days working on my Xenoblade review. It was the first time I poured the entirety of my heart and soul into a project. I spent a whole 5 weeks straight making it. Sadly, something that would go on to become a mainstay in my channel, as you all know. I woke up, did a quick bit of work on the review, went to school, came home, ignored all things, and went right to work on Xenoblade until 4 in the morning most days for 5 weeks. Making the video was very fun for the most part. I can still vividly remember filming that scene where I walked through the woods at the end, or even the scene that got butchered in post, where I fought against a Roy clone. I can still remember going through a 12-hour editing marathon all day before taking a long trip, and at 5 AM after wrapping up this editing session, grabbing my camera and making a whole new video explaining a delay for the review and uploading that. I just mentioned I'm filming at 6 AM and these lights are bright as f***. Oh my god. Sadly, the review was pressed for time as I had promised to release for a continuous cycle of delays. Back then I still had integrity about my delays. Oh, Roy. And so I had to rush the production of the video in its final days. I spent the last moments of editing getting all the last second shots good enough, and eventually butchered the final fight with the Roy clone in a pinch the night before I'd sworn to upload it. After I did upload it, however, I felt pride in what I'd created. Sure, it had its issues, but overall it was my strongest piece of work yet, and I consider it one of the rare watershed videos that truly changed my channel's path. Oh my goodness, where to begin with this one? Well, I should probably start with the fact that while this video has some of the least amount of live action footage in it, my review of Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright and Conquest is probably the video I'm most proud of that I've ever made. I put so much effort into this video. I spent months on various concepts for it and how I would execute it, and while being in a time crunch really kept this video from shining fully, I'm always still filled with pride whenever I think about how I created it. I spent so much time editing, then re-editing, then sanding the re-edits just to get certain parts of the review perfect. In retrospect, I do find it amusing that even though I wasn't too harsh on the games, I still got quite a bit of flack on my dislike of Birthright. While the video ended up great, one of my best projects, it's crazy to think about how differently it could have turned out. Now, with most videos you have this where it's like, oh, this video could have been completely different, but this is a whole different type of that. The very first concept I had for this review was to get a bunch of friends together, rent out 2 horses, and reenact the chapter with a major decision, but in a Royboy fashion, and that decision would be the catalyst of the review, as it is in my actual review now. But the possibility of doing that shrank pretty early on, so it wasn't close to being the actual product. But something that was drastically different that would have changed my channel's nature forever, and was almost the main point of the video instead of what we actually got, was pretty insane. Last year, I spent early spring thinking about a difficult choice. I never really talked to anyone about this except for a few select people. You see, last year I decided that a name change for my channel was imminent. Royboy 140, while nostalgic, needed a change for the sake of the longevity of the channel. The main name that my channel's name was set to be changed to, for sure at one point during last year, was Minato Roy. That's right, Minato Roy, all one word. It was a nod to the iconic Minato above my shelf, and this review would be the main force that explained the name change to my audience in a Royboy way. You see, Stan and I came up with a whole separate script that would have the review start out with something about changing my name or not, and that situation would be the catalyst for the review. And at the end of the video, I would go through a portal viewing 2 different timelines of my future videos, 2 possible futures. Ultimately, I was to give a monologue about how change is a part of growing up and that I needed to accept that. Then I would go through a Stanley Kubrick wormhole sequence where the camera would shift into my eyes, donning a first-person perspective, and I would crash through the portal and land on the ground in a strangely astral place, and in front of me, with the camera still in first-person perspective view, I would see on the ground my Minato, followed by the hat. I would grab the Minato and the hat, all while a high-pitched sound would be playing, and then I would get up, and the camera and audio would cut to black. And the whole point of that storyline in the review was to have a way to explain my channel's name changing to Minato Roy. And the day of the video's release, I would indeed change the actual channel's name to Minato Roy. It's crazy to think about how close that concept came to becoming a reality, and how much would be different if it had. But I ended up scrapping the whole idea because the name just wasn't perfect yet. I also didn't want to box myself in to become a JRPG channel, and also with time restraints, I ultimately threw the idea and the name out. This review was one of those pivotal moments in my channel's history, where it kind of defined the following year's tone all on its lonesome. This review, along with the Xenoblade review and Mega Man Powered Up reviews, each defined the following years of content that they preceded if you think about it. As we all know now, I would go on to actually compromise by just chopping off the 140 and remaining as just Royboy, but as to a full name change in the future, well, we'll see. But it is really crazy to think about how my video review of Fire Emblem Fates
actually acted as that iconic branch from the game's storyline, but in real life. In my channel's lifetime, I had arrived at that fork in the road where I had to determine whether or not I would fully change identity and evolve, or hang on to the old name and wait to see how that would play out. Really awesome, the similarity when you think about it. Also, just a quick fun fact, you can tell I was thinking about this really early on in 2016 because in my Undertale review, which was the first review of 2016, I think I posted it early February, the ending of that video was supposed to be a teaser for my name changing to Minato Roy. And so, it was meant to be harmless, that's why it's not anything crazy like, oh, my channel's become Minato Roy, but you can see that it's sparking and stuff. That was supposed to be the catalyst of the review, was that Minato broke or something like that. So, yeah, you can tell I was thinking about this early on. And that's how early I've been thinking about this review, since like February. Yeah, it's just a fun fact that I really wanted to tell you guys about.
No, don't go yet, don't go yet. Oh man, just before you go, I know I've said it so much already, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me for you guys sticking around so long, and I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into all the behind the scenes that have gone into these 5 videos, and just the behind the scenes of my channel in general. I tried to make it very personal, you know, so like you guys could get a better glimpse as to who I am and how I view my channel and how videos get made. So hopefully this is informative and entertaining, and you enjoyed it. And 5 years, it's a crazy milestone. It's crazy to look back on my old videos and see 5 years ago. Like, whew, that's insane. Someone who started watching my videos when they were like 10 or 15 now. Someone started watching my videos when they're 15 or 20 now. It's just awesome, and I'm so happy that you guys have stuck around this long. I know I've said that a lot, but anyways, I'll see you all later. Videos coming very soon. Fire Emblem month this year is gonna be off the chain, and expect some stuff coming out real soon. And have a great one. Goodbye.